What in the world is happening in today's real estate market here in Northern Colorado? Today, you're about to find out. I'm sitting here with Jeff Kurtz out of Meade, Colorado, and we're going to share what we've been experiencing here.
Thanks, Kendra. Good morning. The sky is falling. It's all going to right.
Oh,
I'm just kidding, Kendra. No, so it's from my perspective, it's more of a balanced market than it has been in the past,
great.
right? We have some higher interest rates coming down a little bit, but um I'm seeing listings generally sit a little bit longer
Yes.
than maybe normal. Is that what are you seeing?
I haven't seen this much inventory since I've started in real estate 12 years ago. I mean, there were not this many houses for sale. So
Yeah.
being a home buyer right now is a great time to take advantage of being able to negotiate tough,
Yep.
able to get maybe some closing costs covered,
Yep.
get an interest rate buy down, get inspection items taken care of. It's a great opportunity to get into a home that you can.
Yeah, and I'll get on that bandwagon too. If you are a potential buyer, I don't think there's ever been a better time. I've only been in about 7 to 8 years in the industry, and you have more negotiation power right now. And I've been able to do that with my buyers. I'm sure Kendra has as well. As a listing agent, both of us have listings, sellers, and we've worked with buyers from that perspective, right, to get the deal done. So,
To tell you how much I believe that, I moved myself.
uh,
So people ask, like, why would you move in this market? Because I could take advantage of
yeah.
getting the house that I wanted at the price that I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
the terms that I wanted. And I gave a little bit on the sale of my house, but that's okay because I wouldn't be able
Here
to
you
get this deal
go.
a year from now.
So she walks the talk, right? And I'm sitting out at her home in Johnstown on all this acreage, and I'm loving it. Feels like I'm back in Northwest Ohio where I grew up. So, uh, what else are we seeing? I think those are the two big things.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about sellers right now because we
Yeah,
have listings happening right now too.
yeah,
And like we said, there's a lot of inventory. So what can sellers do to stand out in this market when they need to sell their home? What can they do to be prepared,
right.
have a good experience?
Yeah. So from my perspective, I have a listing right now, and I know you have a few, but prior to putting your house on the market, I'm a fan of doing a pre-listing inspection of the home. I know that's not necessarily popular with some sellers for various reasons, but I'm thinking back to home sales I've had this year and in the past. I tell my sellers, let's find out up front if there are any potential issues or deal breakers. Let
Yes.
let's get those addressed now, right before we get under contract, and then the buyer does the inspection, and it's like, oh my goodness, they just told us about this. That's one of my things on the front
Like
end.
that.
Do you have thoughts about that, or
Let me
what do
tell
you?
you why I love that. Because as a buyer's agent, if I were doing an inspection on your listing that was not pre-inspected and we find a major deal happen at inspection, I'm going to negotiate really hard because
Mm-hmm.
there's so much inventory right now. I'm going to work really hard for my buyers to get
Yeah,
as much as they possibly can out of
yeah,
that. Whereas you do the pre-inspection, your buyer seller already knows about
yep,
it. They fix it. There's no
yep,
issues. That doesn't come up at inspection. They walk away with a lot more money in their pocket
right,
than they would if
yep.
that comes up at inspection.
Yeah, and I just had a sale this summer in Westminster, and I'm thinking about John, and I miss him. He went to Tennessee, but we did that on the front end, and there were some things that we had to take care of with he took care of. I was his guide, but with the furnace and some other things, but it made it a lot easier once we got under contract. So the other thing, if you're a potential seller, I cannot express this enough to you. And I know Kendra's going to get on my bandwagon, and I preach this that before you get on the market, you really need to declutter your home, organize your home, clean your home, repeat until it's perfect. And I don't care if you have a 20-year-old home, but it needs to look really good. First impressions are lasting, right? You're never going to get another chance for a first impression. Same goes with your curb appeal. I'm very, what's the word I'm looking for? Compulsive or meticulous about yards and grass and weeds. So I'm always on that bandwagon. Curb appeal, inside out. Thoughts? It's kind of, I would say, common sense, but some sellers I don't think want to go to all the trouble. But you probably have contractors and vendors and resources to help them, right? So from your perspective, then, with listing homes, helping sellers sell, I was just on my bandwagon about some of these things, but what's your take on all of this?
Yeah, I'd say first and foremost, I always meet with them and we do a walkthrough of the house of what needs to get done before we list. So
Great.
Minor repairs, there's broken glass in the window, that's got to be replaced.
Right.
There's touch-up paint needed in the living room, that's got to get taken care of. So I walk through with them room by room and we make a list of, hey, here's what needs to happen in this room. Here's what you need to move out of this room. You know, maybe there's too much furniture in the room, so it feels
Right.
small. So, I mean, it is a very thorough, this is what we got to do
Good.
for photos, because I tell my sellers, we've got one shot to make an impression.
Right.
We've got one shot to make that first impression, and that's with our photos. So the house has to be absolutely perfect for those. Like, showings are a little different because that's everyday life, right? So
Sure.
if you have a little bit of stuff out on the counter for a showing, not a big deal. But for photos, that's what people are looking at online. That's
Right.
the first thing home buyers are seeing to say, hey, I love this house. I got to see it in person. So
Agreed.
my philosophy with that. So we've got, you know, people that we can refer out, vendors for electricians, cleaners, all the things, painters, whatever you need.
Right.
We've got the list, right? We help our
Right.
clients with that so they're not just sitting ducks in the water. We've got a plan for them,
Right.
step by step. Here's what we're doing by this date, so we have your home ready to sell.
Great listing agent. So absolutely, first impressions, you get one chance. So these photos, professional photographer, these 3D virtual tours, these professional videos, all of that is huge. And then if you're overwhelmed with all the items, the repair, the fixes, etc., we have vendors and contractors and professionals to help you. Even cleaners. If you don't want to clean your house, and you don't want to get down and do the baseboards or clean the windows, which I think you should do, then hire somebody to do it.
I highly recommend hiring a cleaner to do that one-time clean for you, because it takes a lot of stress off your plate and your home sparkling.
Yep.
It's so much easier to upkeep after that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, highly recommend.
So
Let's talk pricing for a second, because I think that's
yeah.
a huge issue in today's market.
Yes.
The market has changed slightly. Prices have not dropped, but they've softened.
Softened, yes.
And here's the thing that I have the conversation with my sellers too. When we look at comparable sales in the neighborhood,
Yep.
Susie sold her house for $535. Joe sold his house for $539.
Mm-hmm.
So I should list my house for $545, right? That's what sellers are, right?
Some of them think that way. It's true.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
And that's how it used to be. But now, when we see those, we've got to really price our home competitively. So when we see those prices, maybe we should consider pricing ours at $529.
Yes.
To get more people in the door to say, hey, this is a great deal in the neighborhood. They're
Right.
priced under market value.
I agree.
Stem up a lot more activity on the house.
And I've said that for years, right? And to me, it's not rocket science, and I'm not selling my house, but I want to be right at or below
Yes.
what we think the value is or a potential buyer would see. And remember, the buyer determines the value.
Right.
You can list it at 540 and you think, oh, Zillow says that. That's a whole nother subject. This estimate or this, they're all over, by the way, if you look online. But let's look at the real data, these comparables, sales,
Mhm.
and let's really contrast bedrooms, bath, upgrades, all of these different things, but price it competitively. Get me excited as a buyer. So you drive traffic. You might even get, dare I say, 2 offers,
Right.
right?
There's another thing too that to think about that has changed significantly. Interest rates are over 6%.
Yes,
Low
they're over
6%,
6.
whatever they're at right now.
Right.
That adds on like $400 or more a month to a monthly payment at
Right.
the same price point. So in 2020, a house at $550,000, right? That monthly mortgage payment is significantly higher for buyers today.
Yeah.
So that's why your buyer pool has diminished. That's why activity has slowed down.
Yes.
And that's something that sellers need to really think about. And sometimes I pull up that comparable of saying, hey, when interest rates were 3%, this is what the monthly payment was.
Right.
Here, this is what the monthly payment was. And sellers are shocked, like, oh, we have to find a buyer who can afford that.
I love that idea. And I'm going to sit here and be candid. I've never done that with the seller. I will talk at a big, broad spectrum. Like, we have less buyers. There's less buyer pool. There's less people looking at your house because rates are over 6. They're not 3 or 2.5 or whatever. But Kendra's actually sat down and said, here's the monthly payment. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I love that idea. So pricing to me is, like, frankly, out of the gate. I mean, all the cleaning, all those things are important. You got to have the right price, because I've seen it where it's overpriced and we've done everything right, but it's people don't want to pay that. Right. So, okay. Yeah. Then what do we do? Like, and I've experienced this past, present, future, probably. It's overpriced. Then what do you do in that scenario? Like, how long do you wait? What do you tell your sellers? What are the options really?
So there's a few things you can do in that situation. One of my favorite things to do is really just rearrange the photos and redo the description online. Because
Like it?
home buyers are constantly checking online.
Yes.
Their houses next
Yes.
but then all of a sudden there's a new front photo and they're like, oh, I hadn't seen this house yet.
Yes.
So it'll just get them to go back and take a second look and say, hey, maybe I overlooked this one and I should reconsider it. So whether we're overpriced or not, I try to do that weekly on all of my listings.
I like that.
Photo, I change the first line of the MLS description, just something so that it pops just a little bit so that buyers say, hey, I didn't see that house. And they'll come take a second look.
Love that. And I've done it too. She's probably more consistent than me. A lot of my stuff is done pretty well this year, but if it's sitting, that's a great idea where you can mix it up and, well, I haven't seen this.
Right.
Well, she's got this beautiful living room or magnificent kitchen versus the front of the house kind of thing, right? What you're talking.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep going.
The other thing that we can do when we start to get stagnant is the new AI technology where we can retarget home buyers on our listings. So with AI technology, it will track people's online activity, where they live, all of the information about them, like how much money they make, their demographics. That's what I'm looking for. It'll track all the demographics. And it will target specific buyers who could potentially be the right person for that listing. So you can get a whole list of those people and you can retarget them so that anytime they get online, on their social media, on their computer, all they're seeing is your listing, your listing, your listing, your listing.
Love it. And I just started doing that myself. And this whole AI thing, like I'm older than her. I'm like, oh my gosh, all this technology, this artificial intelligence, but it's pretty amazing, especially with listing and selling a home and really diving into target market, target buyers. So all of that digital marketing that we do, the paid Facebook, Instagram, et cetera, ads, we're online trying to find people, and they're hopefully going to find us in the process, right?
Here's the other thing too that I feel like we do a great job of that not all brokerages offer is all of that online stuff is amazing because it's 2025, people technology, but we also go door to door and canvas every neighborhood. I think that's something that's really overlooked right now because just talking to the neighbors, most of them are like, oh, I have a friend who's looking to get in the neighborhood, or oh, my in-laws are looking to downsize and this is the perfect size for them. You will be surprised the connections that you can make to try to find a buyer for that. People in the neighborhood likely know somebody. Yeah,
we do that. And in fact, I just did this yesterday in Denver. I didn't get a chance to talk to too many people, but you'll be surprised if you walk your neighborhood and you talk to people. People know people, and we're not saying they're always going to have a potential buyer, but if I'm in my neighborhood in need and somebody approaches me and I'm thinking, well, I got a friend, pick your neighbor, find somebody you like. The other thing that we do, and I'm going to brag, especially about you, is we do these videos, right? We have the photographer do the video walkthroughs and all that, but we do videos and we go do video walkthroughs ourselves and highlight things, and people love videos. So tell me about your process with your videos. Like if I'm hiring you to sell my house, talk to me about your videos that you do.
Yeah, so it's a full social media campaign that's involved with that.
Right.
You get a 30-second just walkthrough video of just the house, of just highlighting everything on the house. I can do a voiceover on that. I can put my face on that. I can shorten it down into clips, but I can do multiple touches with that on social media to get views upon views upon views. Then I hire another photographer and I come in and I do a specialized video on each listing, highlighting everything about the community. Not just why is this home beautiful? Why would you love living here in this community? To give an overview on that. So again, then I have a longer video that I can again get several touches with. So by the end of my social media campaign, I'm getting an average of 15 to 20,000 views per listing.
Huge.
Yes.
That's huge.
15 to 20,000 potential home buyers.
And dare I say it's a numbers game?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and you just said, oh, the community, you just said something. We sometimes overlook that. I've done that myself. It's not just the home itself, but what's that subdivision, that neighborhood, that community? What are the amenities, the schools, the parks? Go on and on and on. And if you have those, highlight those. That's a big deal to people, right? You know, the other thing, Ken, I was going to ask you, open houses, right? I know some agents don't really bother to do them. I mean, I do them. Sometimes there's mixed results, but what's your take on opening the house up to the general public to take a look?
I love this question. I've had 3 listings this year where the sellers have told me they have never had posted. 3 different sellers not had an agent posted an open house. Maybe in years past they weren't as effective, but right now with the new changes that we've had from the NAR settlement statement, you have to have a signed agreement to go look at houses with your broker now today. Open houses are fantastic because anybody can walk through the door and take a look at the house. You don't have
Huge.
to have your realtor. You
Huge.
don't have to have a signed commitment with anybody. You can just go look at whatever house you want to look at
Yep.
that is open. So I think open houses are game changers now. I think that they are going to really help sell houses in the future because you're going to get way more buyers in.
Yep.
Who don't have to feel like, oh, I'm not ready to sign that paperwork yet. I just want to look at a house and see if this is even the area that I like.
Right.
You know, they just want to see if that's the community for them.
That's a huge point. And if you don't know about the NAR settlement, call us, ask your preferred agent, read it about it. But yeah, the buyers, and I had a house in Longmont we sold earlier this year. In any event, we had a lot of people come through that home, and some of them did not have an agent. They hadn't even signed it. They had a potential agent, but they were just scoping the area.
Right.
Great. Come in, scope it, see if you like it. And so I'm a fan of open houses as well. And there are a lot of agents that don't bother with them.
Right.
So
I think they're crucial right now.
absolutely. Well, that's a lot of good stuff about listing, pre-listing, getting it ready. It's on the market, marketing, advertising, selling. Probably a lot if you're a potential seller thinking, oh, this is good, but I don't really want to do all this work. Well, that's why you hire professional realtors and agents to consult and guide you and take care of you in the process.
Absolutely. I'd say overall, we're still in a very healthy market here in Colorado.
Right.
I feel like we have a niche market when it comes to real estate. Our home values stay pretty steady.
Yes.
We don't see significant drops here. We're still a very desirable location.
Yeah.
So I'd say if you need to make a move in the near future, don't be afraid that you're not going to be able to make that happen. It should be able to happen in today's market. We're seeing homes move. We're expecting interest rates to start to decline a little bit going into 2026.
Yep.
That will definitely help buyer activity again. Overall, I think we have a very healthy.
Exactly. The sky isn't really falling.
Right.
And we're in Weld County, Johnstown, Meade. If you're up this way, northern Colorado, Weld, Larimer, et cetera, even Longmont, we do a lot in. It's a desirable area. It's certainly a different vibe than, say, a Denver or Boulder or whatnot. And if you are selling your house, it's not like you're going to get completely beat up and lose money on it. It's just you're not going to get what you might want to get, and maybe compared to the old days where rates were 3%.
Sure. I would just say patience is the name of the game.
Right.
Trust your real estate advisor. Do the action plan that you have set up to market your home.
Yeah. Patience is a virtue because you get antsy. It sits for 2 weeks and then 3 weeks and 4 weeks, So what can I say? Patience is a virtue.
Right.
Right. And by the way, I'm older now, but patience is still hard for me too, because you want it now and you want to get this and sell it and get your pile of money and move on to whatever that looks like for you. So good.
Well, if you guys have any further questions, we'd love to hear them in the comments and give us an idea from us.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It was fun. Have a great day.